Yo guys, Master Markov here, and welcome back to another episode with our Terraria 1.4.3 Don't Starve crossover update. Now, of course, with the crossover update comes more than just our new super secret world seed of the Constant and the Deer Clops. Now, we do have very new specific items also for Don't Starve that have been found after quite a few hours of grinding, I'm sure, of killing just about every single enemy or data mining enough until you actually figure it out. Now, some of these things can be obtained after a lot of hard work, I will say, and a lot of spawn raids, but they're basically the same spawn as foods. Now, fortunately, by going into any Don't Starve world, we are immediately able to get those items faster and more often. Now, I'm coming to you here from a pre-made Don't Starve world because I've needed to speed up the world generation inside our graveyard biome. And yes, some of these are going to require specific biomes for you to make. The first one being Abigail's Flower. Now, those of us who are familiar with Abigail's Flower know that it is a ghost that is the sister of one of the characters in Don't Starve. And with this ghost comes essentially a similar thing to a Don't Starve summon. Now, that summon is also in this game, and it spawns only in graveyard biomes. And it is a flower that just spawns naturally along the ground after a certain amount of time in World Gen. So you can't exactly speed up the process, you literally will just have to wait. And I placed enough graveyards and little tombstones around that it should have a decent-ish chance of spawning. Now, it'll essentially spawn kind of like grass. It's not exactly a guarantee, nor is it going to be easy to even get. But I will come back once it grows, just so that I could showcase off what it looks like. Ah, yes, perfect. Now, we are going to pause time for the moment and make it a little bit more daytime. Ooh, man. The enemies are really closing in, aren't they? Because I'd like for this to be a more joyous occasion, as we have finally gotten a flower. It has a reddish tint, I'll say, in the actual Don't Starve world, it's basically blends in with the background, which is kind of nice, and you just mine it in order to get Abigail's Flower. Abigail's Flower is indeed a summoning weapon, and it summons Abigail. With the correct powers and better summoning tools... Oh, I accidentally summoned two pants. Never thought that would be something I'd say in this video. Now when we summon her, and every single time we summon her, as you could see a little bit better once we get outside of the range, her flower tends to grow. Now, just so we could really see some of this a little bit better. Now, it only will summon one of Abigail, but the more that we use our various summons, the larger her flower will grow. So, just as a little bit of a test, just so that you could actually see how good she is, as most of these videos tend to do, let's put ourselves in God mode and summon ourselves a King Slime. Should be coming here any moment now. Now, even though I am in hard mode stuff, let's just have just her in her fourth form attack King Slime, and look at how much damage just Abigail is doing. I mean, it is astonishing. This is quite good, I have to say. Now, of course, you know, I could do better with, say, my rapidly firing weapons, but the fact that she's holding up almost as much as those weapons are, especially since, unlike some of our other Terraria stuff, they're actually, this is just throughout the game, and the better your summon is, the more powerful she will get. It's meant to be this powerful to, say, early pre-hard mode bosses. Now, I believe, though do not quote me on this, she also appears as a light source at night. Apparently it does not. I thought that Abigail, like in Don't Starve, gives you light source, but apparently not. And another thing we're going to need, just to make it easier, is a Teleportation Potion. Ooh. Well, ain't this a beauty to spawn into? That being because we need a couple of things to spawn down here. I'm going to also need some light. And we want a lot of things to spawn down here. One of those things being bats. We really are going to need some bats to spawn in. Because we need another item that specifically comes from bats in Don't Starve. And I'm sure most of you who played Don't Starve will also be familiar with this item. But let's just farm away some bats until we get it. Because honestly, it's going to be quite a bit until we get it with the current spawn rates. As you can see, usually, it's very hard to get things like potato chips. Well, underground, for starters, but in the game, food items are very difficult to get. And we've already gotten potato chips before we've even gotten the item that we actually need from this world.
A few minutes later.
We're even getting steak now. See? Now they're just getting fancy on us.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
It would appear we've finally gotten the item we were looking for. God, we've killed 4 freaking nymphs down here. We killed, like, God knows, 150 black slimes. We've gotten potato chips, we've gotten a carton of milk, and yet somehow it took that long just to get the actual item that we needed. So most of these items, as you can tell, obviously, are rather difficult to get. Now this one being the Bat. Yes, it is a literal bat made of bat wings. It's has pretty extreme knockback. It heals the user on hit whenever you hit most enemies, I will say. Dang it, I would have thought this would heal a little bit more, but that should be enough to showcase that I can visually heal, which is kind of good. Yeah, so see, as you can see in the top right, my heart is actually growing from hits from this thing. Unfortunately, it's shrinking just as fast because of the fact that I literally am not wearing armor, but you do actually heal a small portion when hitting with the Bat. Now, next we're going to be going to yet another rando place, but this one's going to require a little bit more finesse.
A little later.
Alright, after a quick fight with the wall of flesh down in hell, we should be a little bit closer to our way to making some progress with this world, eh? I wouldn't really love the idea of having to use one of these on a world like this, but unfortunately, we're going to need to. And we're going to need to head all the way over to the snow biome because we're going to need, perfect, this thing that usually happens in every single snow biome. A hostile takeover. Perfect. Alright, now with a little bit more solution, just a bit more to really encompass the entirety of this thing, this should probably be enough right about now. Ooh, wow, what do you know? Would not have guessed that literally this guy would be here, though I am going to need just about everything else to disappear. We're going to need yet another new item, very similar to the last one we got, that is a little bit more hard mode exclusive. Perfect. We have acquired our other new item, that being the Ham Bat. Now with the Ham Bat, we have grows more powerful the better fed you are, and since we're extremely stuffed, we should be pretty powerful. Now this spawns directly from Pigrons, as you could tell, and let's just turn down a little bit of this and head back up top, huh? Ooh, I love the lights here, but it's even better when you actually see them in the dark. It's so nice. You know what I should show off is one of the other things here. Let's make it monsoon. Because in fact, exposed campfires should in fact go out when it is raining. Now, I'm not sure if that is specifically the walls that might be stopping it, but I do know that they should extinguish themselves So I'm gonna just put another one, say, here. Aha! Our first one has actually gone out. That's kind of cool. So it does actually have a chance for the campfires to just straight up go out during the rain. It doesn't seem to exactly be a 100% chance thing, but it's quite often, I'll at least say. So now that we've already got ourselves our... Ooh, yeah, the other one went out too. Nice. So now that we've already got ourselves a ham bat, as well as the bat, might be wondering what's left. There is one more item left, and fortunately, we are in a corruption world with corruption pretty darn close to us. Now, this is technically something that could be done in pre-hard mode, and it's usually spawned by a lot of the pre-hard mode versions of some of the people that spawn here. But we are going to need a little bit of extra spawn rate from our corruption enemies. Aha! Here we have it, the Shameful Tentacle Spike. Unfortunately, it's not usually shameful. Now, with its 27 melee damage, it's very fast speed, and it has a pretty extreme amount of knockback. You could usually get this from all the pre-hard mode versions of any Corruption or Crimson enemy that's in the game, since we have ourselves Crimson right here. Kind of dangerously close to spawn. I figured might as well see what we could do with it. And it's actually pretty cool. I like how the Tentacle Spike looks. I like how it's purpley. But yeah, this has so far been all the current weapons that have been added into Terraria from the Don't Starve update. Now, we know there are paintings and vanity sets that will also be slowly discovered as we go further and further into this. I don't know whether or not those paintings and things are going to be exclusive to this world, but for now, we're going to end this episode here. So, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe down below. Hope to see you next time with more Terraria Don't Starve crossovers. Peace!